Hey, friend. So this week it's me and the Mac.
Hello, everybody.
You know, the Mac, the guy who is Churchill and can pretty much fix anything with duct tape, but sure, hanging out in the deep waters on your comfort zone.
Now, I'm more of a shallow water kind of guy, but I brought my floaties with me today just in case.
That's good. You know, I think grace looks good on anybody in any color, even if it's neon orange floaties. So, how about you jump in with me?
Sure, happy to do it. I have no idea what we're talking about or what we're doing. I mean, uh, this is kind of different for me. Little uneasy, honestly.
You know what? It's okay. The deep water is always a safe space. So we're good.
Okay,
How about I lead this time?
please do.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is this notion that marriage itself can be a sacrament. And yes, we know literally that marriage is a sacrament, but the day-to-day living out of marriage, the not so deep moments in life where you're just doing what you do,
Hmm.
having dinner together, mowing the lawn, doing the laundry,
Making the bed.
making the bed, and always making the coffee.
Oh,
But talk to me about that. What are your thoughts on this idea that it's just the easy spaces, the routine spaces of life that are the depth, that are the sacrament?
yeah. So that's a great way of framing it up. And, you know, I think all of us get into a busy routine, right?
Sure.
In this day and age, there's so much that you could see, scroll, watch, do. We've been taught to move quickly, to overachieve, or you're underachieving. Got to keep busy, keeping up with the Joneses. I wonder if that's about a particular Jones in Dallas, actually.
Oh,
Is it,
it is it it is it literally about keeping up with the Jerry Jones family?
I
Is that
I don't know. Harley Park. I mean,
somebody out there
is it
look that up and get back with me on that one?
yeah, is it a generic Jones? Is it Kelly? Or is it as in the guy? So, but that's part of it, right? And each year it seems to get busier, faster. There's more to do. There's more you can do. And for me, you have to stop doing all of that in order just to sit and be still.
Oh, wait. Doing versus being?
Yes.
Mary and Martha. Oh, that might not resonate with you so much as a man. No.
Oh, I know. Huge difference between the two. And Martha wanting to wait on Jesus and running around. Wait, do I have that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Running around and trying to do everything and be everything, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And you know, you almost wonder if life itself isn't a distraction from the things that are important.
Oh. Life is a distraction from the important things. That's that's a dance in and of itself, right? Because in marriage, we, I hope, understand that when we step into the covenant of marriage, our first focus, our first mission field, our first ministry after our own relationship with Christ is for our spouse.
Yes.
And how quickly the busyness of life distracts you from that most important job.
It's easy to get distracted. Look, I'm no expert in this. I've been distracted my whole life, right?
True.
Chasing things, whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of not doing good enough in business, in the outside world, providing enough. It just keeps going and going, and you forget. And I've forgotten many times that it's you know God, right? Relationship with God,
Yeah.
then spouse,
Yes.
then family. I haven't even mentioned work yet.
Oh, oh my goodness. Mhm. I think what if you do get those initial things right? What if you do prioritize faith, spouse, family, friends, and then business? What if you get those right and it's still, hmm, it still funnels your energy exponentially outside of those first few things? Um, are we willing to say no to more to focus on the things that are the more?
Less is more.
Well, actually, it is,
It is.
right?
But that's hard, right? Because, I think most of us are people pleasers. We want to say yes, right? You've been taught like, don't be a no person. People don't like that. Be a yes person. Yes, I can. Yes,
Mm.
I will. Uh, we overcommit.
Do we?
Well, I do. I don't know about you, but I overcommit. And then I find myself in a jam sometimes. Like, I told somebody to do this, this, and this, and there's not, and I know this doesn't sound, this sounds routine to her right now, but you like bite off, but that's why there's a saying, bite off more than you can chew, right? Yeah, because you want to be, yes, you want to be the person that's reliable. You want to be the person that's in when your boss, your coworker, a friend, family, kids, wife, can you do spring loaded to go? Yes.
Isn't that the greatest lie, though? I mean, C.S. Lewis in his Screw Tape Letters talks about this very real habit trail. If we could just keep them distracted, if we can just keep the people busy, we can just keep them distracted, then we've already won the battle because they're so busy and so distracted, they don't realize that there's space for the deep water.
Mm. I think that's very true. And, for me, that dawned on me one particular day, and it had to do with a men's retreat.
Mm.
And you, you go, we went to this location out in the hill country of Texas, and, men only, and they asked you to turn your cell phones in.
Was that when you had the crackberry?
Yeah, yeah, I had a BlackBerry back then. And I'm like, well, no, I can't do that. And now the good news is it didn't matter whether you turned it in or not because there was no cell service out there.
But it was actually what they were asking of you was, are you willing?
Yeah. And it's hard to unplug. It doesn't feel good.
Because it's a drug, Matt.
It's like a bee. It's a security net. You're connected. I mean, now growing up, we're the last generation of people at our age, right? I think that's right.
Yes.
To say that we grew up in an analog age, but we're now living in a digital age.
Right.
And, when drive off to college, didn't have a cell phone, there was no internet. You call your parents when you got there 3, 4 hours later and let them know you made it.
So how
That's
how does that constant accessibility impact how you navigate marriage? Well,
I mean, I think a couple different ways. It can be good in that we can communicate more often,
yes,
even when we're apart.
yes, and you travel often. And so I think we together have mastered communicating well in the literal absence of one another. But there's a flip side to that, right?
Well, there is, right? Because it's a huge distraction and other things can invade your home for your time. Even when you're at home, just the two of us, uh, on my devices, but I can pick one up. You're distracted. You're, You're either, reading the news, reading your email, letting work invade, letting other friends invade. This happened this morning. We were doing something right, and I got a ding, 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 and I immediately went to try to do it. And that reminds me of, if you physically go into a store or an office, and the person behind the counter is ready to talk to you, if the phone starts ringing, they want to put the real person on hold and go to that electronic device.
That's true.
I think it's the same thing in the house. And so you've got to actually put it away, right?
Okay, so let's just paint like this really beautiful picture. We acknowledge the distractions that everyday life provides. How do we understand that the calm spaces, the dinners, you and I going out, getting wings and a beer, because I'm just that kind of girl. Yes, dear friends, yes, dear Deepwater friends, yours truly will choose wings and a beer over a fancy schmancy dinner. But how is laughter, good conversation, uh, a fire in the fireplace in winter at home with a cup of hot cocoa together? I think there's, for me, as someone who lives in the deep water, there is this constant yearning for it. And I'm in a marriage relationship that my husband is brilliant, but doesn't, he's totally brilliant, but he doesn't, is it fair? Like, you don't thrive in the very deep introspective space the way I do. Not that you don't have your own, but not the way I do.
Yeah. I think the answer to your question is multifaceted. One is what you have when it's just two of us without these other distractions. That's where deep relational conversations occur. We're
Yes.
connected, right?
Yeah, but can I ask a question on that?
Sure.
What if it's not even those deep conversations? What if the beauty of the deep water, the holy space of the deep water, exists just in the easiness of life together?
Yeah, it sure can. And when you remove all of these other distractions, it makes it far easier to welcome that, to be in the moment, to
Yes.
enjoy the looking at the fire pit, the flames, or looking at the sunset, or just being still.
Is that hard for someone who's not inherently still?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me, and I've had to work on it. It's not natural for me, but it is. I just forgot how to be still.
Oh, there you go. There's the deep water, Mac. It's not that it's not there. It's just a dance you've forgotten, a song that you knew once. But I think the deep water's kind of like riding a bicycle. It's always there. You just have to hop back on.
Yeah. And you push through that space, you realize how rewarding it is and how restorative it is.
And I think that's one of the beautiful blessings of marriage, both short term and long term, like ours, is that you have those seasons of being distracted, whether good or bad, right or wrong. You do have seasons of distraction, but the ability to recognize it and then course correct and then find those spaces again. I think that's a real grace. Yes?
Perfectly said.
Well, then, if it's perfectly said, I think the only thing left to say is bye for now.